So overall, Coinbase will soon allow its US customers to directly deposit their paycheck into a Coinbase account. Guys, this is just the beginning. What's going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. I'm traveling this week, so hopefully the audio quality is decent, and let's kick it off. We have Apex, which is actually the annual XRP Ledger Developer Summit, which will be occurring tomorrow, September 29th. We can see the Apex XRPL, XRP Ledger Developer Summit is the annual event where developers, contributors, and thought leaders come together to learn, build, share, network, and celebrate all things XRP Ledger. And here's a list of the speakers that will be speaking at Apex. We have David Schwartz, we have Monica Long, GM of RippleX, even Matt Hamilton, Director of Developer Relations. And the biggest point I want to make here, of course, is Interledger Foundation. Who is on this board? Remember, Interledger, between ledgers, the ILP Interledger protocol created by Stephen Thomas, the former CTO of Ripple and now the founder and CEO of Coil for micropayments and streaming of payments using the XRP Ledger, is this gentleman, Kosta Padik, and he is actually on the Interledger board. And who is this guy? Besides his massive TED Talks, discussing connecting over 1.7 billion new customers and referencing the unbanked and underbanked populations, digital transformation. He's a member on the board of directors for Interledger Foundation for good reason. And of course, right here, Deputy Director, Financial Services for the Poor for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and sits on the chair of Moja Loop, which means one loop in Swahili for a united payment system. And then look, 20 plus years over at Swift. Let's dive into this a bit more. For anybody brand new that does not realize how big this is, he was the chief architect and architected SwiftNet. CLS, don't even get me started. We talk about this every other video. But for me, this is extremely powerful. Also, we even have Quincy Jones representing Zinfin as a software developer. Very cool. Also, wanted to congratulate iTrustCapital, guys. You ask and we deliver. So iTrustCapital Mobile is coming out. So they're going to have a mobile application for anybody that has a 401k or a Roth IRA like myself in crypto. Awesome to see, and links are in the video description. And speaking of iTrust, I saw Flare Community, guys, a must follow if you want to keep up to date with the best information of Flare Networks and Flare Finance. We can see iTrustCapital looks like they're going to be dropping Songbird. Great to see that they are in fact participating. And when I log into my iTrustCapital account on my browser, I can actually see the exact amount of Spark that I will be receiving. Also seeing Mr. Katao, Yoshitaka Katao of SBI, a big investor in Ripple and R3, sharing this. Goldman Sachs expert is bullish on Ripple's future, expects it to transform online payment industry. Remember, he's referring to the business here, but I'd imagine the best way for Ripple, the company, to be most successful is, of course, utilizing XRP. There was also another article as well, Ripple XRP will redefine online payments, former Goldman Sachs expert says. I'm not really going to dive into it because I know everybody else has at this point, but just wanted to highlight this. Now stick with me, I know you've seen this, but this is going to go into my next point because Rosie Rios actually put out another tweet clarifying this one. So remember, Rosie Rios, who is she? Well, she's on the board for Ripple, the company. And yes, funny enough, she was actually the 43rd treasurer of the United States. And her personal signature is signed on trillions of dollars in circulation within the United States. And she literally tweeted this about Ripple and XRP. You have cartoon characters on Twitter calling XRP a scam, whereas industry leaders know what's up. XRP's primary purpose is facilitating cross-border payments while other cryptos find their value in speculation. China's latest move brings this point home. Ripple, RippleNet, and Bitcoin. Even XRP Crypto Wolf right here. XRP will facilitate cross-border payments across the world and the US. Trillion-dollar woman Rosie Rios recognizes that. Just like they called David Schwartz the trillion-dollar man back in the day, I call Rosie Rios the trillion-dollar woman. Now we see Rosie Rios actually putting this out and clarifying on what Matt Hamilton did respond to her earlier. I want to clarify that in my opinion, while Ripple is committed to the cross-border use case, developers globally every day are pursuing other use cases, as we saw even Stephen Thomas with micropayments, including store of value, medium of exchange, etc. for multiple blockchains and cryptos, absolutely. Now I want to highlight this chart by Credible Crypto, bullish on XRP, but first I wanted to also highlight this. He goes on to say this bull market is going to run well into 2022, and that's how I feel too, provided we do not get a massive blow off top by end of year. If we get a massive blow off top before end of year and just candles are going parabolic, then I'll flip bearish. And historically, on the last 2 or 3 bull runs, depending on how you count, they always end with fireworks, meaning crazy prices. In my opinion, yeah, some alts have reached crazy prices, but for me, the tier 1 tokens have yet to really surprise me. So this chart is actually the XRP versus Bitcoin chart on the weekly, and notice this is an inverted chart, meaning it's upside down. So we can see the higher prices up here. And he is calling for over a 100% move from current levels where XRP is today in correlation with Bitcoin. I like it. Even the Joker right here, the study of the XRP monthly chart. Guys, when in doubt, zoom out. Focus on the monthly and weekly timeframes. You won't be sweating the 4-hour chart. Yes, it's no fun to see cryptos pulling back 50% yet again, just like they do every few months. And that's why it's so important to study the macro. Otherwise, you get sucked into the micro. The study of the XRP monthly chart shows that 61.8% Fibonacci extension acted as heavy resistance before expanding to 323% extension level and beyond. The same behavior is showing itself here. XRP rejected at $2. Minimum target after clearing $2 is $10 in the Joker's opinion. You guys can follow him, longtime buddy in the space. This is Crypto Joker 12. Let's see how this unfolds. So taking a look, we can see on the monthly chart hitting resistance at the 618, the golden ratio, crashing, and then of course finally later blasted on all the way up to the 3.236. Instead of the 4.236 Fibonacci extension that I love to use, he actually utilizes the 3.236. Looking at history on the monthly, which is crazy, dating back to what, 2014, 2013, all the way up, hits resistance, crashes, and we're just forming this nice big cup yet again. And look, we already hit resistance right there at 197, or at least I'm considering that resistance. So very, very interesting. Remember, we've had assets like Cardano do over a 170x, a 100x plus, whereas other assets, what have they done? A 5x, a 10x? Just something to consider. My bias remains the same. I'll continue to dollar cost average in assets that are well below their retracements. And even Joker right here, am I doing it wrong? XRP explosion, new all-time high in November. Let's take a look. This is XRP and the US dollar on the 1-day chart on Bitstamp. And he's actually just overlaying this fractal, assuming that this could potentially play out. What do you guys think? Also, in other news, Coinbase is rolling out a direct paycheck deposit feature for US users. Talk about mainstream adoption. I also saw some speculation, potentially even hype, talking about the Coinbase stock going back up in price. So I'll be keeping an eye on how that's performing as well. So overall, Coinbase will soon allow its US customers to directly deposit their paycheck into a Coinbase account. Guys, this is just the beginning. There's over 7 billion people on the planet. XRP address is what, maybe 3 million wallets? 3 million out of 7 billion. And that's people. We also have to consider the rise of the Internet of Things, the IoT devices, that also will be billions. And last but not least, guys, so I'm going to be joining the Bearable Bull for a special guest lecture, a special live stream. This will be available for all patrons and Cages Trades. Links are in the video description, along with anybody that is part of the Bearable Bull's Accidental Billionaires University. I absolutely love that name. So we're going to be discussing crypto, answering questions, and I'm going to be telling a little bit about my story. So I hope you guys do in fact enjoy that. So massive thanks to Jordan Harry for sharing this as well. As always, I hope you enjoyed this one, and until next time.